Welcome back, everybody. Let's have a look at Matic then. So Matic's actually surprised me a little bit, to be honest with you, because we've seen how Bitcoin has just pretty much decided to give up on life and go down beneath the $8,000 area by quite a way, by quite a significant way actually. We've seen Matic dragged down temporarily by that, but what a recovery. Hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band, it's come straight back up. We're now resting towards the centre of it, so that's a decent recovery. And look at the Sats value. Sats are finding, well, I mean, you know, obviously if we expect a recovery like that with the tether pairing, what we expect to see is high Satoshi values, and that's exactly what we're getting. We're getting some decent Sats. We're above all major moving averages, and it looks like we're looking to find our way closer to this more recent high point here. So we're looking very, very healthy indeed. Matic's had some good runs these last couple of weeks. Looking pretty healthy. Now what I'd like to see is for us to make our way above this 200 EMA, which has now just reared its head on the daily chart. We've not had this before. It's such a young coin on the Binance platform. It's the first time in this just over a week now that we've actually had the 200 EMA. Now because we're beneath it, we do have a negative slope on it. The 200 simple is actually very steep, but it would be when you see where it's come from. We're always going to have a pretty steep move like that because let's face facts. Matic is still up, probably close to 170% from where it started at the beginning of the year. So, despite falling all this way, you know, after its parabolic top, it's still pretty high up in the charts of coins that have held a lot of their value from the beginning of the year. I mean, some coins are really suffering. Look at things like XRP, not doing very well at all. You see where it's come from this year. In fact, I still think, you know, to be honest with you, I don't really see how XRP is going to get through all this. But Matic's done very well, and it continues to do well. And I don't see why it's not going to make some decent moves at the beginning of next year. For this year, I don't see that it's likely to break 2 cent this year. I could be wrong. Anything is possible, but there's nothing on the cards to say it'll break that 2 cent level, which is it's not unachievable. If we think of the price action where we are right now, we get to 2 cent. Well, we're talking a 40% increase from where we are now. It could happen, but when the market looks dark and dismal like it is doing right now, and Bitcoin looking dark and dismal like it is right now, it'll be difficult for money to flood into a coin like Matic when it's basically leaving the market in general. But you know, Matic is a very low price coin, so if it finds its way on something like Coinbase, for instance, I could imagine it attracting quite a lot of significant attention. It's about to kick in with the staking rewards as well. So, and again, it's very early on in its lifespan. So there's plenty of things that will come out which will help its value fundamentally. But just from a charting this out, you know, looking at the way that the price action is moving right now, I don't believe we'll see anything skyrocketing anytime soon. We did have pretty hefty rejection from its most recent high, just bordering around that 1.8 cent level. Now this red line that I've got here at the top is the level I would say is once that area breaks, which is basically 2.7 cent. Once that area breaks, we will see Matic doubling and quadrupling and quintupling in its value relatively quickly. That will be the sign of a full-on recovery. It needs to break above there and stay above there, turn this to support, and then that's it. There'll be no stopping it, there'll be no coming back. And this time next year, I do expect that obviously that will have broken, and this chart now, as dramatic as it looks, will actually just appear as a little blip on the screen. That's how confident I am in this coin. But at the moment, I call this an accumulation zone. All of this area is accumulation. It's shown itself to be relatively robust now in downtrending markets. It has been a tough time for Matic in general, because after its parabolic top, it was subject to the entire market losing basically 2/3 of its value. and now what it's doing is just reaccumulating, as are all coins are kind of in that reaccumulation zone. But my fear is that Bitcoin is likely to be dropping down to 6,600 or even lower if we do get this death cross. If we get this death cross, the chances are we could be seeing a Bitcoin less than $5,000. That is definitely a possibility if we get this death cross, which looks like it wants to happen. But last time it looked like it wanted to happen, we did get this come out of the woodwork, and it just completely skyrocketed up. So, you know, Bitcoin is a tricky one to chart when we're seeing things that are almost happening. It's not happened yet, so I can't say that we're going to have a $5,000 Bitcoin until it happens. It's not, personally, it's not a realistic outcome for me. When that death cross happens, and depending on how steep it is and how many days it has happened for, I would expect some big sell-offs of Bitcoin, and then that would mean in turn sell-offs of the rest of the market. At the rate that Matic's going, it means that Matic will achieve higher Satoshi values, but it will be brought down inevitably with its US dollar and Tether value. But will it show relative strength in comparison to Bitcoin? It certainly has done today. So all I can say is Matic's looking very strong today, despite what happened with Bitcoin. Matic is still on top for one of the best coins. We're in the crypto market, and all altcoins out there. This is the one that I have the highest hopes for, even higher than Chainlink. Chainlink is strong, but can Chainlink do a 50x in 2 years? Not entirely sure. Can Matic do a 50x in 2 years? I think that's pretty achievable. I'm looking at I'm thinking we're going to be seeing a $1 Matic in about 2 years from now, and that's my expectation of this coin. But for the moment, we're reaccumulating. I'm accumulating some more of this. Why wouldn't you? It'd be rude not to while we're beneath this area, and it's just a matter of waiting it out, really. You can't really trade Matic very well, because it's such a new coin. It's not really a tradable asset. It's definitely much more of an investment, and that's how I treat Matic really at this point. Anyway, I've bored you enough, so I hope you have a nice evening, and take it easy.